Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Kwikset. This is their part number 85278-26. This is a 85278 in a 26 finish. This is just a typical strike that's going to be used for deadbolts. Deadbolts have their own height strike generally. They can be bigger, but 2 3/4 is the standard size for a deadbolt strike. You will occasionally see economy grade, grade 3, or deadbolts that are not rated or graded at all having 2 1/4. Really unusual strikes, but those are your home center type strikes where they're not standard is the bottom line. So this is going to be 2 3/4 tall. This is going to be 1 1/8 wide. Okay, this will be made of steel. It's going to include a couple of combination screws. That's a machine thread at the underneath the head, and then a wood tip, a wood thread in front. That will work on hollow metal or wood frames without any trouble at all. That's an 832 flat undercut head. You can see the underside of that head it's flat undercut. That permits a flathead screw that would be normally countersunk to fit into a very thin material like this. Otherwise, the screw would stick out if it wasn't an undercut head. Thickness of this strike is 0.075, 0.075. The width of the cutout for the bolt itself, 0.687, 0.687. Overall length, 1.01, 1.01. The center to center of those holes for the screws, that's going to be a standard dimension, not to worry about that. But if you want to know, I would say it's going to be right at about 2 3/16. Okay, the 2.6 means bright chrome. If you change that to 3, it'd be polished brass, or 2.6D, it'd be satin chrome, etc. So the different finishes will certainly be available. Very common to purchase just deadbolt strikes for whatever reason. There may have been some hardware removed to paint doors and frames, and the strikes were thrown out, whatever the case might be. There is finally a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Kwikset products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website is also a link to the manufacturer's product catalog as well. And I'm actually a fan of Kwikset. I'm not really necessarily a fan of, very low-end residential hardware, but and not that Kwikset is that, because I wouldn't call them low-end, but they're going to be builder's quality. But they do have upgraded material. They probably even have some grade 1 material as well. The fact of the matter is, what I like about them is they're a company who doesn't get into commercial grade hardware as what people think of them for, but when I call them, I get technical support from people who know the product line. I've called them and had technical questions on some of their technology. They have not their smart key, they have a deadbolt that actually has 2 operating cylinders in it with a rotating faceplate, so that top cylinder will permit the master key to operate into it. And the name of that deadbolt escapes me. I did a video on it not too long ago. But I was able to call them and speak to them as a certified registered locksmith at that level of understanding of the product. Now, it's a really great idea to have those 2 cylinders, and it's a concept that goes back to the 19th century. Because what happens in that deadbolt is you've got the tenant key. Tenant can get in and out, no problem. The other cylinder will allow not only operation of the owner's master key, and the advantage of having a separate cylinder is that you keep the bitting separate from one cylinder, because someone in the know may be able to derive the master key bitting by having one cylinder. But I believe it also allows them to do a lockout, okay, like you'd have in a hotel innkeeper. When locks in hotels were mechanical pieces of equipment with physical keys, you had hotel functions where the regular key or the master key will operate the latch, but if the innkeeper put their key in, they could then throw the deadbolt, preventing the regular key from working because the regular key could not rotate around far enough to pull back the deadbolt. So the same sort of function in these two cylinders. So having called them on more than one occasion in the past, I am always impressed with the grasp of the technology of locks, of how the principles of locksmithing and how locks actually work. I am told that Kwikset ships 1 million locks a day, and I don't doubt that at all. The Kwikset key is probably the most popular, common key that exists in the history of mankind. But what I like about them is their ability to actually speak technically about the product they sell. You know, so that's I tip my hat to them. Any questions on the 85278 strike in a 26 finish, which is polished chrome? And it wasn't a true polished chrome, it was just a shiny kind of plated chrome. Or any other Kwikset product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.